signed on the first day. She just signed because she wanted to sign. So, for me, that was more of I ain't gonna say a red flag, but you don't have players come to our school and sign it right away. So she came and she signed, and it was great. So kind of did more of a background on her in high school. Come to find out she wasn't even playing in high school at all. She was on the team. The team was pretty good, but she was acting selfish, just acting out, things of that nature, just doing stuff that she wasn't really supposed to be doing. So the coaches took that in consideration, and they didn't even play.
Yep.
They just didn't play. So when she came to me, it was more okay. But I asked her what kind of school she had. She said they only had one or two schools, but the school coaches weren't looking for her. But she didn't tell me why. And then as I've gone through, okay, now I know why, because she's a girl that's had a lot of difficult time when she was in high school. She just didn't play. But I got her here. She's a team leading scorer. All right, team leading scorer, and she's dropped 30. And I was thinking, well, okay, you dropped 30 here, but you didn't. What did you do, and what happened in high school that you didn't get any little to no playing time, but you come here and you drop 30? Well, the coaches, they didn't. We had stars, we had girls who was going college already. And they say they played the favorites.
Yeah.
And then kind of again doing the legwork and just coming to find out that this girl it's one of those that if things are not working well for her, pouting. Sitting at the end of the bench type thing. And she was trying to bring that show here, and I don't play that show. I'm not with that. Even my bench is short. You're a viable part of what we have. So it's breaking that mentality that she's had that she was being spoiled and acting out childish and selfish, and sitting at the end of the bench gave coaches that ammunition not to play her and not to help her in schools.
Yeah. And
then we kind of breaking down them walls, and and it's just a little girl different with the young ladies. You got to break down walls, breaking down the walls, and being able to instill the confidence in her and let her know that she can be all she can be, and then B, putting a foot in her behind when she wants to try to act out and want to sit at the end of the bench. I go right on down there and let them have it, and get back up there and sit with your team, sit next to that coach, and get yourself back and get focused. So, knowing that the guy's story is just such a main story, or with having those kind of situations happen. I had a young lady on my team last year. She got pregnant, and she had to sit it out for a while. But great thing is she came back. She came back this year, and not only that, she's got her literally, she had to take 12 credit hours, but she's only 2 credit hours from her degree.
Yeah.
So, and she came in the COVID year, because you remember the COVID year didn't count really for anybody. So she's actually been with me 3 years, had a baby in between, has maintained a 3.5 GPA. Not a great player, but I'm going to help her get somewhere. But it was that was a tribute to, okay, here's one situation, and then here's another young lady that has a baby, and she's going to graduate, and averaging like 5-6 points a game. So I could probably get her at maybe a JV or school that's needing players at the very end. They're going to need players, But in a sense, the stories that I hear, especially with guys, and having the opportunity to dream and watch it fade in front of your eyes. So
and it's been and it's been a couple guys like that. Contact with a couple schools. They get there, and then one of my other interviews I just posted a clip of. I was like, yeah, what's up with the guys not calling the coach back? Because I'll talk about this one because it's far removed. I remember that one. I saw that. It's far removed now, but we had a 6'10" kid, and he see this, he probably gonna choke me, but he know why I'm saying it. 6'10" kid, okay. First school that got interested in him was Bowling Green State. Bowling Green State had just had Rashawn Holmes come through there, but Rashawn had played in our conference. So it just, hey, let's look over there again. Maybe we can, find lightning in a bottle twice. You never know. And it's easy connections, right? So they come over, they like him. But that situation fizzled for another reason, okay? It wasn't his talent. Just fizzled for another reason. Second situation, so I forget if it was Moser that came in the gym, but Loyola comes into the gym. They want to watch the practice first. Loyola, Chicago. Yep, because he had the grades. That wasn't the issue. But 6'10", when he came to us, he was about 195 pounds. He ended up leaving about 227, 228. So he really chiseled himself up for them 2 years. So they come in the gym, and they're just kind of like, this is the time that, Fred Van Vliet is in that conference, and everybody's trying to figure out how they can beat Wichita. Well, the problem with that is they're like, yeah, we like his game. He can play. He's at the end of our list, but we don't think he plays hard enough to play in the Missouri Valley. And it was like, wow. Like, they don't think you can play hard enough now. It was like, yeah, there was a motor issue.
It's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough conference.
Right. So it's just like, okay, they don't think you got it. So then the last school that comes in, Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois is interesting because he has great pick and pop ability. That's his best strong suit. He had a little over the shoulder hook, but that pick and pop was deadly. It was up, it was down. It was up, it was down. And then we figured out eventually, like, the way you push his buttons is, there's another kid his size, he'll dominate. But see, the problem was, that year, we didn't have a lot of kids in the area, or at least in the Juco region we were in, his size. So we always got played off the court. So sometimes his numbers were skewed. So that did cut down on it. So Northern Illinois brings their entire staff. And I mean, when he went to go to the water bubbler, the chairs turned. It was like, okay, I think you got something here. But then he was somebody that really don't check his phone. So they ended up getting a kid from overseas. Yep, didn't check his phone for like 7 days. And I'm like, for 7 days? Like, yeah, that happened. I'm just going like... Like you said, you see the dream fade away.
I don't know any coach. I don't know any kid that does not check his phone for 7 days. I don't know of any kid that does that. And you got coaches really trying to put you in a position to be successful because success. There's a lot more competition out there for these players, and I'm not understanding. I'm just trying. I guess I'm just more old school. Just trying to learn the climate. The climate is just not yesterday. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm just. I mean, for you, you're in it a lot more because you're dealing with these young men. I haven't dealt. I've been, coaching women for like last 10, 12 years, and the climate is just so different as I've gone, especially not the Juco level. It's just so different, man. You just mentioned it. I talked about players calling and let me know that they went to another school, or let me know that that they didn't want to play. I don't know about I don't know what other coaches on this particular podcast and what they do, but I've gotten to the point. I'm not trying to be mean, but a player, I don't mind letting a player out of the letter of intent because truth be told, if a player is at a 2-year and signing on a letter of intent for me, an LOI at 2-year, and they go to a 4-year, there's nothing I can do. Because, I don't know if you've had it, players are signing, and then the coaches that literally know that you already have this player and they're still talking to them anyway.
Mm-hmm. We had one of them this year, and it was just kind of like, he tried it, and I'm like, okay, he don't know how close I am with your family, so I'm going to call him. Because he was trying to get my kid, but I'm like, that kid signed with us over here. Boy, you can't get him. He been with me since the freshman year AAU. You think you got a shot? We've been all over the country, man. His family trusts me, so not you. So it was like, this was just... You've had that as well. Yeah, and it was just kind of like, bro, that's over with. And I get because he did have a teammate that was supposed to be going there, but that was his home Juco. They just, they played for the same team, but they lived in some different spots around here. So that part I get, like, okay, you're trying to, tag him in with his teammate. All right, whatever. But once he's signed, it's over with.
Right. And I guess I didn't understand why, why coaches kind of do that. And you know what? I gave him just another one. The player told me, okay, he signed with me. It was all great. This girl's pretty good. She's pretty good. I'm like, man, she's going to help me turn it around a little bit, She's pretty good. And she came to me about like 30 days before school started and told me that Blase school is offering her, and she's going to take it. I said, well, I asked her, what was the school? So I asked her school. She told me what the school was, and I said, wait a minute, that's my man. I know this guy. So I talked to him. I said, did you know that she had signed? Mm-hmm. He said, yeah. He said, this is a dirty business, and things like this happen. I said, well, if you could do that, I said, I can't do nothing about it. I figured you being that I know you, that we boys, you could have told me. I said, I have no problem with that, but I'm just kind of surprised you didn't kind of say anything to me.
Yep.
So he said, yeah, it's a dirty business. Players, coaches do this all the time. So I said, well, okay. So I was kind of a little perturbed by that. But, I talked to the player and I told him, I said, understood. I said, well, you could, just kind of let me know. I said, well, he said, coach already knew. I said, what do you mean he knew? He said, the coach knew where I was going. Mm-hmm. He knew 2 weeks prior to that. He knew where I was going, and he offered me this anyway. I said, well, did he know what school? He said, yeah. He said he knew you. He said he knew who you was and everything. And man. He said y'all was friends. He said to you that we were friends. He said, yeah, y'all were friends. I was like, okay, well, apparently we're not friends.
Right.
Because he didn't, we're not friends. So, yep. I was really surprised that this guy went literally right behind me, looked at his numbers, all his talent, and decided that he's going to take her. Mm-hmm. And I always tell these players, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, but I tell these players, if you're getting signed in, the end of July or late July or early August, really end of July, if a coach is coming at you and signing you then, you're not the first option, you're the last. Mm-hmm. You're the last. You weren't on that, if you were on that list that players that he was looking to recruit, he didn't recruit you in February or November. He's recruiting you now because you're, quote unquote, either you're still available or he didn't get the 5 or 6 or 10 girls in front of you.
Yep.
So I don't think I'm wrong in that, but sometimes they come to find out the grass ain't green on the other side. They were just filling that that spot. For us it'd be a win-win, but for them they're just filling a hole. So I'm learning as I go, as coming to realize that even the people that even the coaches that 4 year schools that or you don't know, I see that they really don't have any issue coming right behind you after you have, put an effort in signing a player and, just coming and swooping them up from you and don't offer you a phone call or don't offer you anything. Just, it is what it is.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering if I'm not the only one that's having that issue,
No, you're not the only one. We had so a quick story. We had a kid from Louisville last year. Our head coach was recruiting him. We pretty much had him in a bag, and then his trainer was a former college coach. He was looking for a job. Well, that landed him at the NAIA in Iowa. And it was just one of those things where the kid was, 22 years old. And he was like, well, this guy wants me over here. He didn't know he was going to get the job. He finds out about the job, second week in July. So he applies. He goes through the whole process. He didn't know if he was going to get it. So the kid kind of told us, he was like, okay, now if he gets the job, I want to go there because he, being 22, he just didn't want to go through the recruitment process again at age 24. He's kind of got a girl, he's got a kid, they're coming with him, so he's trying to, make it make sense. And we're like, all right, that makes sense. So that's a positive story of it. It worked out, and nobody really tried to snake us. But then we got other stories just kind of like, yeah, well, their scholarship situation over here isn't ours. And it's just kind of like, wow, so that's the way you're going to go about this? Ours is comparable to yours. I mean, the state of Illinois doesn't allow housing on campus anyway. So anything being said after that is just kind of like, yeah. The entire state don't do it. It don't matter if you're D1, D3 Juco. It don't matter. It's not allowed. You got to go through your own housing process, to have the kids get housed. So that part we knew. So we've had people try to come, take our kids that way. We've had people like I just said before, where they'll try to stay contacted the kid already, and the kid's already signed. We'll have people say, hey, don't go over there, but it's like, yeah, you're telling them that, hey, go over here, but you're not even giving them a good reason why they shouldn't come over here. It's all stuff that you're making up as far as a fabrication in your mind, because when you look on the paper, it's not true.
Fabrication in your mind.
Man, it's just they inventing that thing up there. Cause it's just like, okay, we haven't done what? All right.
Right.
All right, like I can show you the accolades. Some stuff ain't for, you know what I'm saying, text. But if a recruiter's right there with me, here you go, look at it. Because sometimes when you put stuff on the internet, you know, the interpretation is wrong. And then you got to go through a long, drawn-out explanation of it. Whereas, you know, each person might need that explanation because they don't do what we do. So because I know that, yeah, I'll show you that, you know, we knew somebody that we went and beat, and they were NCAA level, and the NCAA level was not Division III. Jucos don't do that. I can show you that in the video, but I can't post that video because it's just out of respect to the person that allowed us that opportunity to come into that gym that day. And we were able to shock people. But at the same time, you got teams or players like that on those teams that go and do messed up stuff too, or they don't reach their full potential even though they're able to go and do these miraculous things because of other reasons like we talked about earlier too. So it's all a big cycle of what's the best cause of action to move the entire program forward. So it's beneficial for everybody, but at the same time too, you got the vultures that don't know how to get the kid or to have the conversations that you might be able to have, like just, you know what I'm saying, remotely close to what a kid really wants, and then they really feel what you're saying. So if those are the kind of conversations you can have, you're always going to get great talent. And it's like that's the talent that's not going to bicker. So like for us this year, yeah, we're playing without a big, but if you look at our players, the way they move, they go playing like outings for themselves. Usually that's a coaching staff thing. And we talking about we got kids from all over the place. Like y'all going on bowling events, yeah, we trying to go to breakfast, they lining up cars. It's just good to see that we made the right pickings as far as people, and their chemistry eventually will take them to great places. Right now, they just don't know how to win because they're freshmen. So it's just a whole way that works. And if you can pull it all together and you can get these guys to like each other outside of this, you know, this 2-hour window when they're practicing, working out, whatever they doing, you won. Regardless of what that record is going to be. You just got to keep them together long enough because eventually those trenches that they fall in be stepping stools. Like, all right, we playing them? Yeah, all right. We don't need no scouting report. We can remember the scouting report from last time. Like it'll just be, it won't be routine because that gets boring. But it'd be like, okay, it's Monday, business. Like that's something I think I want to put like almost in the locker room where it's like every day is Monday because we always back to business.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, just like you said, it's always nice when they you know, the team got that camaraderie. That camaraderie is something, you know, you can't put a price on that. You can't put a price. It makes your coaching staff, and you're right. It's not really, in a sense, it won't be about the wins and losses. The players are ready to go. They're ready to go through a brick wall. They're for each other. I mean, it's nothing like that. You know, you just can't buy it. You know, you don't have to sell it. If it's there, it's there, and you can benefit from it wholeheartedly. So, though she wouldn't believe this, my phone is going dead. Man, just want to let you know, man, you're doing good things here, man. When I saw Parks and Pros, and I was, you know, I'm on TikTok messing around. You know, you see my TikTok, but I just mess around. I'm having a ball, doing all sorts of crazy things, but you know, been putting my, you know, my games and things like that. You know, just even for a recruiting tool. But what you're doing, you know, giving guys like myself, you know, I'm at the level. I'm doing what you're doing. It's just different in some instances, but you're at least giving guys like myself a forum and talk about what we're doing and how we're doing it and the way we're doing it. And the funny thing is that there's no really that much difference in your level and in my level. We're both doing it, men and women. We're still doing it. So I just want to say I appreciate, man. You know, just keep doing this, man. And you know, maybe when you know becomes bigger, you know, maybe I can come back on and. You know, maybe I'll have some bigger, better stories.
Man, we all good. You got the number, man. You can come back on whenever you want to. I actually want to do a little more with you. So, I mean, we can resume this back next Sunday and add more to it, man. Gone. Yeah. I got it. We on the move.